Hey guys, this is Bharadwaj with Fonearena.com and this is the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact. Sony did what others couldn't do with their mini flagships. A smaller version of its Z1 with all its selling point retained. Armed with the same camera, the internals and a substantially better screen, could the Xperia Z1 Compact be the mini we deserve? Let's find out in our video review. The design of the Z1 Compact is very much similar to its big brother, the Z1. Flat faces, curved corners and the color add to the look of the device, especially the lime version we've got here, which is really vibrant and flashy. The phone is rigidly supported by an aluminum frame which is sandwiched between two sheets of tempered glass. While the glass adds to the look of the device, it is prone to fingerprints, scratches and dust. Scratches are particularly inevitable, so using a case is definitely necessary. With just a 4.3-inch display, the phone is incredibly easy to handle, with it fitting easily inside the palm of our hands. It comes in at 9.5mm of thickness and weighs 137 grams, so it is not exactly the thinnest or lightest device around and actually feels blocky and slightly heavy for the size it comes at. But we feel it is a decent compromise, so let us walk you through the hardware now. The front of the phone is dominated by the 4.3-inch 720p display, above which we have the earpiece which doubles up as the notification LED, a 2.2 megapixel front-facing camera to its right and the ambient proximity sensor pair to its left. Over at the left side, we have all the connectivity ports and slots, starting with the micro USB on the left. It comes with ODG support, micro SD card slot, the docking connector and the micro SIM card slot. It's worth noting that the SIM slot mechanism is wonky at best, and there is a hard reset button inside this tray which came in handy for us a couple of times. Moving on to the right side, we have the stylized power lock switch, the volume rocker and the two-stage camera shutter key. The top houses the 3.5mm audio jack, while the bottom houses the loudspeakers along with the secondary mic and the lanyard holes. Turning to the back, we have the 20.7 megapixel camera, the Sony Xperia and the NFC logos along with the single LED flash and the secondary microphone located at the cutout on the top of the back. Now taking a deep dive into the hardware, let's start with the display. The 4.3-inch 720p display from Sony carries the tri-luminous branding for a wider color gamut and the X-Reality engine for post-processing of images and videos. With 342 ppi of pixel density, the display is very crisp and clear, sporting good color reproduction and contrast. While the viewing angles are great and massively better than the Xperia Z1, the auto brightness setting was too aggressive, which rendered outdoor visibility really poor. And even in full brightness, we felt the display was not optimal at all. But this aside, the display is a winner overall, a big improvement over the previous displays on Sony flagships. The camera on the Z1 Compact is the same 20.7 megapixel unit that we saw on the Z1. Armed with the Exmor RS 1x2.3-inch sensor, which is the biggest on an Android phone till date, the phone manages to capture really good pictures in most conditions. It sports a bright and fast 27mm wide-angle lens with f2.0 aperture and is powered by Sony's own Bion's image algorithms, which for the first time in the Android space are put to use for oversampling. The Xperia Z1 Compact, just like the Z1, can take 8 megapixel oversampled pictures and provide a decent bit of lossless zoom in the superior auto mode, while it can take up to 20.7 megapixel stills in the manual mode. We took photos in several conditions and found that the oversampled 8MP pics work best for brightly lit conditions, and it is better to stick with 20MP shots otherwise, except at extremely low light conditions where the superior auto mode is better again. Anything in between and the oversampling fails to work well. Coming to video, the phone can record 1080p videos at 30fps, but being powered by the Snapdragon 800 processor, we had expected 60fps and 4K video, which may show up in an update later. The video quality was great in the normal mode, with steady shot that improves the stability of the video through software and clear stereo audio. However, the HDR mode tends to lose some quality, but still has better dynamic range. Overall, a decent camera, certainly among the best in Android, and can only get better if Sony tweaks its algorithms. As mentioned earlier, the phone is powered by a Snapdragon 800 chipset running at 2.15 GHz, along with Adreno 330 for graphics duties. We found the phone to be blazing fast at almost everything imaginable. Be it synthetic benchmarks or games, the performance consistently topped out. We tested out several high-end games which ran very well on the Xperia Z1 Compact. It's worth noting that amongst many connectivity options, the phone also supports USB OTG with a cable in the box and can connect wirelessly to a DualShock 3 controller, which we used for our gaming tests. The phone comes with 16GB of internal storage with around 11.8GB available to the user. With 2 gigs of RAM and around 1.7 gigs available to the system, we never faced slowdowns or problems with multitasking as everything seemed smoother than ever. Overall, a really fast device. Talking of a fast experience, it is almost exclusively because of the software, which is Android 4.3 Jelly Bean, heavily skinned with Sony's own UI. The company has made huge strides from the early days when it just used to lag even on high-end processors, but the refreshed UI is blazing fast and highly customizable now, so much that we never got around to using a third-party ROM. The theming support for the default Xperia launcher enables endless customization thanks to the ability to change the accent colors and even the on-screen navigation buttons apart from the usual icons and wallpapers. The quick settings and the app list are highly customizable too, but we found that the scaling to a smaller screen with a high resolution is a bit of a miss in some places, but not a deal breaker at all, as all the squinting stops after a while. There are a lot of custom default apps too, like the basics from the dialer, messages apps to the sophisticated Smart Connect or the functional media apps. The phone can play back 4K video and project the same over MHL or Miracast among many other things. Smart Connect is an automated solution for accessories which come in really handy at times. For example, you can assign an action to an event like connecting the headphones into the phone and it will immediately start playing music if you configured so. This is present on other Sony phones too, but certainly noteworthy enough to talk about. Coming to battery life, the Z1 Compact is powered by a 2300 mAh lithium-ion unit that can last a day on average use. It also has the stamina mode which can be activated to elongate the life further by selectively enabling apps for background internet access when the screen is off. Very useful during travel. Concluding, the Xperia Z1 Compact is easily the best mini flagship till date. It matches the high expectations of a small flagship device without a lot of compromises. If you're coming from an iPhone and really want a similarly sized device with all the experiences that you would expect out of a flagship, then the Sony Xperia Z1 Compact is undoubtedly the best choice. However, you might have to put up with the slightly blocky design, quirky stability issues and the hit or miss camera, especially in low light. To summarize it better, here is a list of pros and cons of this device. And that brings us to the end of our video review. Do check out our full review on the blog, the links are in the description below. We hope you enjoyed our review. For more, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching and let us know what you think in the comment section below.